Court does call the case. Peninsula Place versus, is it Trellis Lane?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. David Van here on behalf of the plaintiff.
Sir, your name?
Sorry, Judge. Trellis Lane.
All right. This is the date for non-jury trial, and this is a non-payment of rent case. How much is the plaintiff claim is owing?
Your Honor, the total balance at this time is $3,320.17 plus court costs of $161.
$3,320.17. All right.
Your Honor,
Sir, of that amount, is there any that you believe that you owe?
Clip 1. The video begins with an introduction to the case, where the host sets the scene. A sovereign citizen, Trellis Lane, appeared before Judge Simpson in Michigan. Lane attempted to challenge a non-payment of rent case, but the judge immediately scheduled an in-person hearing after ending a Zoom session. Judge Simpson is portrayed as fair but unyielding toward those who attempt to skirt the rules. The plaintiff in the case, Peninsula Place, claimed an outstanding balance of $3,320.17 plus costs. From the start, Lane refused to acknowledge owing the amount, sparking a tense courtroom exchange.
first, about saying what I owe, but you already answered the question. Ask me the question.
And
I
Mr.
can break
Fenn,
down that amount if you want me to, Your Honor.
pardon?
I can break down the amount if you'd like me to.
Just one moment, we'll get to that. Sir, can I ask you, I received the documents from you. Is there a reason why you don't think you owe that amount?
Because it's already been paid, Your Honor. Far as reporting adverse information about a co-signer Act 211 of 1989, Peninsula Place is trying to help me liable as the co-signer when I have an interest and a signature and I'm a natural person. So they're trying to go liable.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Okay.
Just so that I have the background on it. You reside in this unit that's at, I think 315B.
Correct.
At 1000. You reside there.
That's my place of abode.
Well, you live there, right?
Depends what you're talking about. I'm acting as a consumer. So, far as like my, I'm there on special appearance, and my estate stays there. But as far as a natural man, I don't have no.
2. Lane asserts that he is already paid and refuses to recognize the landlord's claim, citing his status as a natural person and questioning the legitimacy of conventional financial transactions. Judge Simpson patiently clarifies that the law requires payment in legal tender and that Lane's arguments about co-signers and abstract legal statuses do not exempt him from paying rent. The court attempts to extract a simple confirmation of residence from Lane, who continues to speak in convoluted terms. Despite Lane's evasions, the judge establishes the basic facts. Lane occupies the unit at 315B and is responsible for paying rent under the signed lease.
Okay, so when whoever is in this courtroom leaves here to go to what they would call home, where does this person that's sitting here go?
To my place of abode, Your Honor.
Which is where?
Peninsula Place.
Okay, at the 315B.
Correct.
All right, that's what I need to know. Okay. Do you have a ledger?
And I'll give Mr. Lane a copy also.
Thank you.
And Mr. Fantera, this would be your witness, is that correct? Okay, why don't we do this? Why don't we have her and Mr. Lane sworn in, please?
Thank you.
Yeah, one is.
Right hand. We're affirming the testimony about you.
I do.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Your Honor, could I give you real quick context on that?
Yes, please.
We had a previous case last summer where Mr. Lane received Sarah funds. And when we had I have a copy, I have a case number, I have a copy of the unsigned copy of the COD. That was entered on September 9th. SOS paid his rent through September, and it left a small balance of, I think about $119, which we waived. So the balance, even though it doesn't show it on there because we didn't actually get the SOS check till sometime later, his rent at the end of September was $0.
Got it.
So the total balance that's on there is 5 months of rent at $513, water and sewer bills, electric bills. There's not even any late fees, and then there's 161 in court costs. So I just want to clarify that, in fact, none of this goes back past September 30th. In fact, I don't know if you remember, we actually, when we had the previous case, Mr. Lane had sued Peninsula Place seeking the return of all money he paid forever. And he denied that he owed money, but simultaneously applied for Sarah, and he denied he applied for Sarah. You verified with probably Aaron at the time that he had applied for Sarah. He ended up getting Sarah funds. He would not sign the COD, and then you basically gave him a choice. I'll enter the COD, or we'll have a trial and I'll give you a judgment. But it sounds like he's raising some of the same stuff now that he attempted to raise.
Your Honor, free to speak?
Go ahead, sir.
So, Your Honor, when I applied for, first,
The court revisits a previous case where Lane attempted to recover funds from Peninsula Place while simultaneously applying for SAFA, assumed to be government, funding. Lane provides unclear explanations about his principal information and alleged credits, confusing the proceedings. The judge and attorneys repeatedly ask him to clarify, but Lane's responses remain vague. The discussion highlights the recurring pattern of Lane raising the same arguments he had previously tried, without substantiating his claims with evidence.
If you're not Trellis Lane, then I'm going to give them a judgment by default because Trellis Lane hasn't shown.
I'm here on special appearance.
No, you can't do that. You are not an attorney at law because you can't appear for somebody else. So my question is, and I'll ask it again, are you Trellis Lane?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. So, Mr. Lane, October of 2022, did you pay rent to the landlord?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and how did you pay that?
I'm paying with my credits that's on file. So I sent instructions back in May, basically to get my account zero every month.
You do what?
I sent instructions back in May, then I sent another one to December to the CEO.
The CEO of what?
American Campus Communities. Saying it right. So he's seen my email, so he's aware of what's going on. Basically, like I say, I'm looking for consideration. I have not been getting no consideration, no adequate consideration.
Well, you get adequate consideration for the contract and any payment by virtue of the fact that you have a residence. So I don't think consideration is even an issue.
But Your Honor, I have several questions.
Well, you can go ahead and ask your questions, but I don't know. Let me just ask this. October 2022, how did you pay your rent?
I paid with my endorsed, took the bill, I endorsed it.
Did you give them cash?
We don't have,
We being whom?
I'm saying it's a credit system, Your Honor.
So what?
Credit system. We don't.
So who's in charge of this credit system?
You said who's in charge?
Surely.
I mean, we haven't had money since 1933, the American Bacon Act.
We being whom?
As
Who are you talking about when you say we haven't had money? Who is we?
far as like the United States haven't had money since 19.
Oh, they definitely.
Lane claims he paid rent using a self-created credit system instead of US dollars. He asserts that the monthly rent is covered through credits linked to his birth certificate and social security number. The attorney for Peninsula Place explains that these credits do not constitute actual payment in US dollars. Lane cannot provide documentation showing that these credits are redeemable for legal tender, which becomes a central point in the case. The judge repeatedly asks for evidence of payment in a form recognized by law, emphasizing that Lane's credit system has no legal validity.
For him, here's what he's getting, Your Honor. We have a third-party billing company called Zigo. And so what they do is every month they bill the utilities. So he gets this bill, and then you'll see at the bottom what he writes is pay to the order of Peninsula Place. And so what he's taken, so for example, the top one says pay to the order of Peninsula Place, $662.12. That amount is his monthly rent plus the $123.12 in utilities that are at the top. There's 3 of these that I've attached. So what he does is he cuts off the bottom and he mails that in as with instructions to pay to the order of Peninsula Place as if that's a check.
Have this marked as plaintiff's exhibit and 2. The ledger being 1. But Mr. Lane, you have a copy of what I've marked as plaintiff's exhibit 2. Is what Mr. Fantera described, is that correct? Is that what you do?
Yes, I'm accepting the credits that's given to me and I'm transferring it back.
Who's giving you this credit? They who?
So Peninsula Place, so in the beginning, when I signed up with Peninsula Place, I gave my credit information. So those payments are supposed to come to me as credit. So
what payments?
The payments that's coming every month. So those payments, they're trying to hold me liable for it, and I'm taking the credits that I'm receiving and dishing it back to them, to Peninsula Place.
Who's giving you credit?
You said who's giving me credit?
Yeah.
I have credit, Your Honor. I have a security interest.
In what?
And this so-called contract with Peninsula Place.
Okay, but who's giving you credit? Young man, you keep using these terms, payment, credit, and it seems to me as I'm listening to you that you're using them improperly. So my question is, have you paid anything to the plaintiff in US dollars or anything that evidences US dollars?
No, I haven't paid in US dollars.
Or anything evidencing US dollars? Like a check, credit card, anything like that?
So this is...
No, that's a yes or no.
Can you repeat the question, Your Honor?
Have you, let me just break it apart so we get it real clear. Have you paid for the months of October 2022, November 2022, December 2022, January 2023, or February of 2023? Have you paid to anything to Peninsula Place in US dollars?
No, Your Honor.
Have you paid anything to them that is evidence of an account which holds US dollars?
Yes, Your Honor.
What? And what account is it attached to? You better be careful about answering my question. Because if you're telling me that you gave them or paid them something that evidences an account that can access US dollars.
The court presses Lane to produce evidence of his claimed credit system. Lane presents a ledger, but it lacks any indication that it can be converted into US dollars or used to pay rent. Judge Simpson systematically dismantles Lane's arguments, demanding proof of an actual account with a balance. Lane insists the credits exist, but he cannot show an accessible financial account. The contrast between Lane's claims and the legal requirements for payment becomes increasingly clear, highlighting the futility of his approach.
Just gave?
Yes,
How does that access US dollars?
because, Your Honor, this account, I'm the holder and I have the interest.
Then show me the balance on that account.
They show you the balance?
Yep.
Just showed you the balance.
No, you haven't shown me anything. Show me the balance on the account. If you give somebody something that evidences that they can access US dollars, then there is a balance on that account in terms of what you're giving them. Much as if somebody gave a check to them, they would be able to show the account for which they can then present that check and receive US dollars. Show me that account, Mr. Lane.
Like I said, Your Honor, I don't know what else you're asking for. This is
No, you know exactly what I'm asking for.
you're asking for something that's coming out.
Something that evidences that by that piece of paper that you've given them, that they can access US dollars.
Okay. I don't have any other account besides this, Your Honor.
You don't have any what?
I said I don't have any other evidence besides this right here.
That does not show me that they can access US dollars.
Okay.
Where would they take that to, in your mind? Where would they take that to access United States dollars?
Put it on the ledger.
Where would they take it to access US dollars?
So, okay. So, Your Honor, so I got a question. As far as landlord and tenant relationships, it's sitting here.
I'll try to answer your question as soon as you answer mine.
Okay.
Where would they take it to access US dollars?
They would take it and take the check and put it on a ledger with my credit. Because if I owe something, Your Honor, it would be in the negative balance. How can I pay something that's in a positive balance? How can
You don't have a positive balance.
this is
You have given them a piece of paper that you yourself just said is a check. So where would they take that to access your account
so, Your Honor,
and receive US dollars?
they're acting in dishonor. They're taking it and they never said anything about or object to it. So it was off.
Oh, they're objecting now, certainly. Where would they take it, Mr. Lane?
So where would they take it? I mean, as far as they have a security deposit deposition bond. So they have it in a financial institution.
What financial institution
I'm not.
would they take it to get cash from your check, as you call it, that would then be debited from your account? Where would they take it?
Debited. So what about the credits, Your Honor?
I don't see a credit.
On this paper, it says credit payments and credits.
That's not what it means. To the extent it says that. You have no credit. Where would they take it to get US dollars?
So where would they take it? They would take it out of my trust, Your Honor.
Out of your trust.
Yes.
Where is this trust located?
We all have a trust in them.
Okay, let's say we all do. I'm not accepting your premise, but let's say we all do. Where is your trust located?
Lane argues that Peninsula Place is somehow accessing the U.S. Treasury to process his credit system. Judge Simpson and the attorneys question how any institution could convert Lane's ledger into dollars, pointing out that no bank account exists under his system. Lane's explanations become increasingly fantastical, citing unspecified trusts and phantom lines of credit. The courtroom exchanges underscore the absurdity of his claims, as Lane continues to refuse acknowledging the simple reality. He owes rent and legal tender, which he has not paid.
Which treasury?
U.S. Treasury.
Oh, so they have to go to the U.S. Treasury with this thing that purports to be a check. Really?
They were pulling from the Treasury. That's why they asked for my information.
Who is pulling from the Treasury?
Peninsula Place, Your Honor.
So Peninsula Place is pulling from the U.S. Treasury.
I got the account attached to my name with my social and my information.
So they're pulling from the U.S. Treasury because of that?
Say that again?
So because of that, they're pulling from the U.S. Treasury?
I mean, they're charging the account. So this account has my information tied into it, which is showing that it's already prepaid. So what they're trying to do is Peninsula is trying to make me repay.
You've never paid anything. So they're not trying to make you repay. They're trying to make you pay.
Your Honor, so how did we get here if I never if I provided my information to Peninsula Place?
We got here because you have never provided them anything
Okay.
to pay on this account in U.S. dollars or anything evidencing U.S. dollars. That's how we're here for 5 months. You haven't done that.
Okay. So in the contract, it says payment and then specify what type of payment.
Judge Simpson methodically addresses Lane's reasoning, explaining that even if Lane claims to have $1 billion in credits, he cannot show any evidence of that value. Lane's use of terms like positive and negative balances and reliance on birth certificates and social security numbers is dismissed as irrelevant. The judge clarifies that the lease contract and standard payment methods apply, and Lane's failure to provide real payment evidence leaves him liable. Lane's arguments collapse under legal scrutiny, as he cannot substantiate any of his sovereign citizen theories.
So if you're not sure how much is in there, and you give them this thing that evidences, as you're saying, let's just take this 1 month of $662.12, you don't know if that can be subtracted from that credit you supposedly have.
I'm believing at least $1 billion worth of credit.
Oh, you have $1 billion worth of credit.
We all have credit.
Well, I'm not worried at this point about anybody else's credit. I'm worried about yours. You're saying you have $1 billion, but you have nothing that shows me that you have $1 billion worth of credit.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Lane, plaintiff is claiming that you owe them $3,320.17. Tell me every reason why I should not give them a judgment for that amount.
That's going against the Michigan Consumer Protection Act.
What particular provision are you claiming of the Michigan Consumer Protection Act?
Enter into a consumer transaction in which the consumer waives or purports to waive right, benefit, or immunity provided by law unless a waiver is clearly stated and the consumer has specified consent to it. I never gave no consent.
What have they asked you to waive?
He said, "Where they asked me to waive
Mm-hmm.
my rights."
To what?
Consumer.
As a consumer of what?
He said, "A consumer of what?"
Yeah.
Of this contract.
What rights did they ask you to waive?
My interest.
What interest?
I have an interest in this so-called contract.
Oh, you do. You also have certain obligations under that contract.
So I have obligations.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Like payment.
Okay. According to, like I said, landlord and tenant relationship, pay the landlord for all the rent arranged under this rental agreement. That's basically what I have the security deposit for.
No, your security deposit is not under Michigan law for that reason.
What is for, Your Honor? That's what it says, security deposit permissible uses.
There is no security deposit under this lease. They do not require a security deposit. It's zero.
Okay. Even worse.
Under which
You don't have a security deposit.
Your security deposit is zero. You did not pay a security deposit when you moved in. This client does not require
You
security.
say move in, all this from where?
And even if you had one, Security Deposit Act, you can't apply it.
Sorry.
So, what other reason do you have why you don't owe this money?
And what other reason?
Yeah, you told me Landlord-Tenant Relationship Act, which you haven't pointed to a particular provision. You've talked about a security deposit of which you have none, so that can't be a reason. I don't know, and you haven't pointed to anything under the Landlord-Tenant Relationship Act that would even be applicable in this particular case regarding the monies that you owe. You cited the Michigan Consumer Protection Act. There's been no benefit that they've denied you, no interest that they've denied you. So that can't apply. Give me anything else as to why you don't owe this.
Anything else why I don't owe? I don't understand what else that you're looking for. Like I said,
I want you to tell me every reason why I should not say and give them a judgment for this, the $3,320.17 plus their cost.
so Your Honor, I'm sorry, can you repeat that again?
Which part?
You saying, so how is this not like a contract of adhesion that is more beneficial to Peninsula Place?
I don't know what that meant. Explain what you're trying to say to me.
So it's two parties, and I consider the weaker part. So they wrote this contract and all in the benefit for them. So where did I?
The attorney for Peninsula Place formally requests judgment for the owed rent. Lane continues to assert that the payments are prepaid, but he has no documentation proving it. Judge Simpson asks Lane to provide any legal reason or statutory claim under the Michigan Consumer Protection Act or landlord-tenant laws to avoid judgment. Lane's references are vague and unsupported, failing to meet the burden of proof. The judge patiently dismantles each point, emphasizing the simplicity of the contractual obligation Lane is attempting to evade.